We'll start with the prayers. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshajatraha Stirairangaihi Sushtuvagum Sashtanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuho Swasti na Indro Vrittashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti no Prahaspatir Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are studying Mandukya Upanishad, the third chapter, and the central teaching of this Upanishad is Turiyam. What is Turiyam? There is a higher nature of mind, which I don't know. That higher nature is called as Turiya. I take myself as an individual experiencing a world. Veda says this individual experiencing a world is Vyavaharika Satyam. It is transactional reality. But there is a higher reality which Veda wants me to discover. That higher reality is called as Turiyam. In the seventh mantra of this Upanishad, Turiyam was defined very, very beautifully. It was defined so that my mind, when it thinks about this Turiyam, can understand the Turiyam. What are the features of this Turiyam? Suppose I want to know my features, I can say I am this body, I'm a male, I'm 50 years old, I'm 30 years old, and so on. Similarly, what are the features of Turiyam? So that I also can understand that nature of higher nature. The language used by Upanishad is not this, not this. To reveal Turiyam, Upanishad says, I am not that Turiyam is not a waker. Suppose Turiyam is not a waker, that means the waking world also is negated. That is the first thing about Turiyam. That means I must know that I am something other than this body. The second thing it says is, I am not the dreamer. That Turiyam is not the dreamer. That means dreamer and the dream world is negated. So the second state is also negated. Then comes the third state, sleep state. I love sleep state. But then the Upanishad says you are not the sleeper also. In the sleep state, I have got very deep ignorance about the whole universe and also about myself. So primarily, the Upanishad says, I am not the waker, I am not the dreamer, I am not the sleep. Then the Upanishad says that Turiyam is Shantam, very, very peaceful. Shivam, very auspicious. Advaitam, It is non-dual. There is nothing in it, and there is no second Turiya also. And Upanishad say that is my Swarupa, that is my nature. This is exactly what the Upanishad wants me to understand. My intellect has to understand this truth, which the Upanishad wants me to discover. When my intellect starts understanding these facts about Turiya, not the waker, not the dreamer, not the sleeper. It's not the world of the waking. It's not the world of dream. It is not the world of sleep also. Then what is Turiyam? Turiyam is Adhishtanam. It is this substratum on which waker, dreamer, sleeper, all the three are coming and going. Here we are understanding who am I. The question is, the individual, wants to know who am I. So the Upanishad is addressing the I in this body. The I in this body is not the waker. I in this body is not the dreamer. I in this body is not the sleeper. I in this body is the Turiya Atma. And that Turiya Atma is self-evident, self-conscious, and it is eternal. Eternal means it is timeless. It is never born. Now, these are the facts which I am supposed to discover. When my intellect tries to understand this, there are a lot of questions in the intellect. The only way to answer those questions and try to make your intellect understand the truth is giving it reasoning. And that is what exactly we are trying to do in these mantras. In these verses, we are trying to give a reason. And by giving a reason, we are trying to understand the truth. We are trying to discover our nature. So this background information you must have. When you listen to these talks, you must know what we are trying to, where is the goal? What is the goal to be reached? The goal to be reached is an inner journey. It is a spiritual journey which starts from the external body, but it goes very deep inside my real self. With that, I will go into the 27th Karika, which we have to start today. Now, the 27th Karika we started last week. Let me play it for you.
सतो हि मायया जन्म सतो हि मायया जन्म युज्यते न तु तत्त्वतः युज्यते न तु तत्त्वतः तत्त्वतो जायते यस्य तत्त्वतो जायते यस्य जातं तस्य हि जायते जातं तस्य हि जायते.
The topic here being discussed is existence. It's a very, very subtle topic. And in Vedanta, in very, very few places, you will find this topic being discussed. In Chandogya Upanishad, the 6th chapter, we will see a very detailed analysis of Sat, existence. Gaudapada Acharya and Shankaracharya are discussing the topic of existence in these verses 27, 28, 29, 30. What does this verse say? We have to compare existence and also with reference to the world in which we are living. For the world, we need a nimitta karanam, intelligent cause. And we also need a material cause. Nimitta karanam is intelligent cause. Unless you have a carpenter, you cannot get a table or a chair. Unless you have a goldsmith, you cannot have a bangle or a ring. For this whole universe, which is so orderly functioning, there must be a governor, there must be a controller of the universe. Also, Shrishti Karana. Somebody must have produced this world. Now, this Karanam is existent. Why do we say Karanam is existent? Because without an existent cause, you cannot have a product. For example, with the existent parents, you can have children. Even if you don't see the parents, you don't see the forefathers, you can understand that as long as I am seeing the children, you say there is a cause. That cause is existent, was existent before, but now I don't see it, but it was existent. So what the Upanishad says is, especially Vedantan says that the world was born from an existence only, existent cause. What is the other Purva Pakshi saying? Purva Pakshi means opponent. He says from non-existence alone the world was born. Asat. What does Shankaracharya say? From existent cause only you can have a Mithya Karyam, a unreal world. For example, rope and rope snake. Rope is existing. Rope snake is Mithya. Mithya means it is just an appearance. So from an existent Turiyam, the world which is produced cannot be real. That is what is the thesis in these four mantras. It has to be an unreal creation because existence is real. This is the logic which is being used. From existence cause alone, unreal Mithya world is possible. From rope snake is possible. From waker, dream and dream world is possible. Dream world is what? Mithya. Rope snake is what? Mithya. Suppose, Shankaracharya says, suppose there is a real cause and a real effect is born. Effect is, according to us, is unreal. World is, according to us, unreal because the cause is real. Why do we say cause is real? Because Upanishad says cause is real. Our entire analysis is based on Shruti Pramana. It is based on whatever Veda is saying, we are trying to follow. Our understanding, we are trying to adjust it, fine tune our understanding, keeping in tune the Vedic verses. In Chandogya Upanishad, it says, Sadeva Soumya idam agre asi. 621. Sad eva. Sad means what? Existence alone was there in the beginning. Science wants to know how did the Big Bang come. According to science, the world came out of Big Bang. There was some collision of stars and something, and then suddenly the Earth came about, and then the human beings came about. But Upanishad goes one step before Big Bang. Today, even scientists are trying to understand what was there before Big Bang. And a simple verse of Chandogya Upanishad gives the answer directly. It says there was Sad, there was existence principle. Existence is the cause of the entire universe. Universe is born out of existence. Therefore, universe is unreal. And then there is another important point which the Upanishad says, and that is about this existence. It is a cause, no doubt, but it is a changeless cause. That is what we are going to analyze in this mantra. We have studied there is a changing cause and a changeless cause. Milk becoming curd is a changing cause. Curd cannot become milk again. There is no retransformation. Waker becomes dreamer. That is a changeless cause. That means Waker, without changing himself, projects a dream world. Similarly, Turiya projects the entire waking world without any change in Turiya. So when we go back to sleep, what happens? The world gets resolved. And what remains? Turiyam remains. And what is Upanishad saying? Upanishad is saying you are Turiyam only. Waking state I experience. So many things in waking state. Upanishad is not bothered about what you are experiencing. Upanishad only says cause. Look at the cause. Like you have gold is the cause for all the ornaments. Clay is the cause for all the pots. Turiyam is the cause for the entire cosmos. So that is the logic being used in this 27 Karika. Now, Bashyam, Shankaracharya's Bashyam. These are all paragraphs. This is the 548th paragraph which Shankaracharya has written in Mandukya Upanishad. We started this Mandukya Upanishad 1.5 years ago. The study, we are still continuing with it. Now, 27th Karika is being explained slowly. What does the Purva Pakshi says? Purva Pakshi means opponent. You see, the beauty of this Bhashyam is, it makes my mind to think correctly, to analyze correctly. On our own, we can never think like this. But this type of thinking will make my intellect sharp. Using a sharp intellect, which is the instrument to know Brahman or Turiyam, then I have reached my goal of moksha. Upanishad says, through neti vakyam. I told you last week that neti comes 5 times in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Not this, not this, not this. So the Purva Pakshi, the opponent is saying, Upanishad is negating the entire creation. and it never reveals the Atma, according to the opponent. Sarva Pramana Agocharam. What is Brahman or Turiyam? It cannot be known by the sense organs or the mind. So, Agrahyam means it cannot be grasped. And it should not be grasped, because anytime you are trying to grasp an object through the sense organs, it is an object. So grasping is not possible according to the Veda. Shankaracharya says, the opponent says, because everything is negated, there is no Atma, there is no Turiyam, everything is negated by the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. That is the reasoning of the opponent. Shankaracharya says you are giving a wrong, the reasoning is wrong. You are using neti, but that is not the correct thing to be understood in this context, because neti is used to negate the pramata, the knower, the seer, the hearer. Beyond the seer, hearer, and knower is this consciousness, is this turiyam. Even though it is not knowable, it is aprameyam. Aprameyam means it cannot be known by the sense organs. Even though it is not knowable by the sense organs, it still exists. Turiyam exists even though I can't see it. My ears cannot hear Turiyam. Normally, what do we say? If I am able to see something, that means my eyes are proving existence of form and color. My ears are proving existence of sound. My skin is proving existence of touch. My nose is proving the existence of fragrance. So, the sense organs are knowers of sense objects. But what are we analyzing in these mantras? We are not analyzing the object, but we are analyzing the subject Atma. This is how Shankaracharya explains the opponent regarding his comment. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Shankaracharya writes a commentary for a verse where he says, who can know the knower when there is no world? In sleep. This is a very, very important point made by Shankaracharya. And we must also assimilate this knowledge. What is Shankaracharya saying? Shankaracharya is saying that in my sleep state, there is no world for me. But then, that knower is gone. Knower is the mind. So, knower is the mind which is born and it goes into unmanifest condition. In the waking state, the mind becomes manifest. In the sleep state, the mind becomes unmanifest. Whether the mind becomes manifest or unmanifest, I, the Turiyam, continuously exist. The awareness consciousness principle is Turiyam. So, I hope you are able to get this point, that Turiyam is independent of waker, dreamer, and sleeper. Independently it exists. And that is what the Upanishad and these Karikas are trying to make us understand. So for the entire universe, there has to be a substratum. For children, there is parents. For the universe, there is Turiyam. That is how you should understand. In Taittiriya Upanishad, Tasmad va etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhutaha. What does the Upanishad says? From Atma, space is born. That means Atma is the Karanam. Atma's definition is what? Turiyam. And Turiyam is existence, Sat. From non-existence, you cannot have a product. That is what Shankaracharya wants to show. Opponent is saying from the world was non-existent before, and from non-existence only the world came about. That is opponent. Shankaracharya is defeating that theory. So Shruti logic must be understood in this fashion. What is the Shruti logic? Shruti logic is Karanam must be there for Karyam. So data from the Shruti Vakyam is the ultimate proof for existence of Turiya. Pratyaksha Pramanam, we can use it for Vyavaharika inferences. I see a fire, I see a smoke, and I infer fire. That is Vyavaharik. But for Paramarthikam truth, you need to go to the Veda. Because we are trying to understand beyond this world what is there. So there is an existent Ishvara or God who is the Karanam for this entire world. Like a magician. Magician is the cause for the entire magic show. Baker is the cause for the entire dream show. Turiyam is the cause for the entire waking show. And Turiyam is existent. It is not non-existent. See, that is the fundamental thing which Shankaracharya is trying to prove in this. So 27, 28, 29, 30, they are all trying to explain one Karika, which was the 23rd Karika, which talks about Brahman or Turiyam being Vivarta Upadana Karana. Vivarta Upadana Karana means what? Changeless Turiyam is the cause of this waking state and the entire cosmos. These are all revision notes. I will skip them. In Dakshinamurti Stotam, the same idea comes out in the second mantra, where it says, Bijas yanti vankuro jagadidam prang nirvikalpam punaha maya kalpita desha kala kalana. Maya kalpita. Space and time are projections of Maya Shakti, the power of Maya, which exists in Turiya. We have meditated on this verse also, so this is just a revision of that. So, universe is born from an existent cause alone. It cannot be born from a non-existent cause. That is the fundamental principle which we are trying to learn in this 27th verse. Lalita Sahasnamam, which is a very beautiful chanting which a lot of people do. Vishnu Sahasranamam, 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. Similarly, 1,000 names of Vishnu's consort or Mrs. Vishnu, which is Lalita. In that, there is a very beautiful verse. This is the verse which I quoted here, 89th verse of Lalita Sahasranamam, which says, Aprameya Swaprakasha Manovachama Gochara. This consciousness, Turiyam, is aprameya. Aprameya means what? Sense organs cannot perceive. Manovacha gochara. Mind cannot understand, cannot perceive this. Mind cannot know this. But through Shruti, when I understand the mantra number 7 of Mandukya Upanishad, my intellect gets that added booster to understand art. Normal intellect will never understand. But intellect aided with the Veda, with the Shruti Pramanam, can know Atma very clear. Eka Atma eva Sakshi, Eka Atma eva Pramata. This is a very, very important statement. One Turiya Atma alone appears as the Chit or Chaitanya Rupam behind all the minds. This is the first statement. One Sakshi, that is the substratum. Sakshi means Turiya. The same Sakshi is the Chit Abhasa, the reflection of a waker, dreamer, sleeper also. When I say this, what you should understand? Vivarta Karanam. Turiyam is changelessly becoming, projecting this waker, dreamer, sleeper. See, if we understand this at our own individual level, we can then say that all the living beings are the same. There is one consciousness which is now shining in your intellect, my intellect, somebody else's intellect in Africa, Japan, China, all that. Our vyavahara may be different, but what we are trying to understand is what is this world? Who am I? Who is the creator? Those are the questions which are getting answered in these verses. So, Upadana Karanam becomes this universe. What type of Upadana? We have studied this, Vivarta Karanam and Parinami. This is a very, very important chart. You should remember. I have already discussed this before, but for the sake of importance, I'm repeating it again. Clay converting into pot is Parinami Karanam. Parinami Karanam means what? Clay transforms to become pot. Gold transforms to become chain ring bangle. Wood transforms to become furniture. This is Parinami Karana. Parinami means what? Changing. Changing cause. The second cause is what? Vivarta Karanam. Vivarta Karanam means what? Changelessly a product is created. When a product is created out of a changeless cause, that product has to be Mithya. Mithya means it is only an appearance. Shell appears as silver. Rope appears as snake. Waker appears as dreamer. Atma appears as the waker. Ultimately, we have to say Turiyam Atma appears as this waker. Shell is born in the form of silver. Atma is born in the form of the world, waking. This snake, which is born out of rope, has to be seemingly born. It is not a real birth. which we all know. Our mind is projecting something which is an error. Rope can't be really born as snake, but only apparently it can be born. Similarly, the whole universe can be born out of Turiya Atma, apparently, seemingly. That is what is being confirmed by Shankaracharya and Gaudapada. See, there are two things. One is we have to find out what the world is. Second is we have to find out what is Turiyam. Turiyam is Satya. World is Mithya. So now we are trying to understand the world which is Mithya. Turiyam is Satyam we have already discussed before. It is Advaitam, it is Shantam, Prapancha Upashamam, all that we have studied. So right now in these portions, what we are trying to study is the world. How to understand this world from Vedantic point of view. Gold is born in the form of a bangle. Atma is born in the form of Jagat. This is the way we should understand. So, world is born out of Atma, exactly like a chain or a ring is born out of gold. Gold is the Upadana Karma. In Mandukya Upanishad, same thing has been said that Atma is Ajaha. Divyo Yamurta Purusha Sa Brahma Sabahya Antaro Vyajaha. That means the Turiyam does not have inside and outside because it is all pervading. And because it is all pervading, it is unborn. It cannot be born. It is all pervading. It has no parts. So Brahma Parinami Vadi is different than Vivartavadi. Vivartavadi is the Advaita. Parinamivadi is Sankhya and others. And in this chart, I have given you what are the four different philosophers, four Vadis, four schools of thought. The first school of thought is Visishta Advaitin, who says that, who talks about Parinamivada. That means Brahman transforms into this world. Parinami. Parinami means changing, which is wrong. Sankhya also says Prakriti is Parinami. You see, in the case of, it is only, they only say it is different objects are becoming the world. So in the case of Sankhya, they say nature, Prakriti is transformed into the world. And there are two Satyas. Consciousness is also there. World is also there. And both are the same reality. That is Sankhya. Nayayika says Arambhavadi. Arambhavadi means in the beginning there was nothing. Asatvadi. When all the elements are put together, then the world comes. Paramanu Vadins. What is Vedantin says? Vedantin alone says there is Satyam Brahma and the world is Mithya. This is world is Satyam, Brahman is Satyam, world is Mithya is proved in Gita verse number 4 and 5 of the chapter number 9. We have seen this verse many times before. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadadaktam murtinaha mastani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvavastitaha. In this first one, what does the Gita verse says? I am in the form of this entire universe. Material cause. Then in the fifth verse, what does it say? Nachamastani. That means I am not there in the world. I am the Vivarta Karanam. I am changeless there without the world, which is our experience in the sleep state. What is our experience in the sleep state? I, the Atma, Turiya Atma, am independently there without the world, which is exactly chapter number 9, fifth verse. In the waking state is chapter number 9, fourth verse. The whole world is nothing but me alone. World has come out of me is mastani sarva bhutani. Number 4, verse number 4. Verse number 5, nacha mastani bhutani. There is no world at all. Because why? Because it's mithya. It is not a real creation. It is an appearance only. Appearance only. So the central theme of this chapter 3 is Ajati Vada. Ajati Vada means there is no real creation. Creation is an apparent, seeming appearance. This finishes the 27th Karika. In the 28th Karika, it is the same logic is being used, and somewhat a little bit more deeper example is given about non-existence and existence. Let's see how the verse goes first.
Asato maya janma Asato maya janma Tattvato naiva ujjate Tattvato naiva yujjate Vandhya putro na tattvena Vandhya putro na tattvena Mayaya vapi jayate Mayaya vapi jayate.
Here, Gaudapada Acharya is trying to make us understand what is the difference between Mithya and completely Asat. Completely Asat means what? Non-existence. There are 3 categories. Sat is existence, which is Turiyam Atma. Second is seemingly existence, which is Mithya, which is the world, according to Advaita. There is a third category called as non-existence. What is non-existence? Flowers in the sky, rabbit's horn, son of a barren woman. These are 3 examples which are generally given in the Shastra. Here the son of a barren woman is given. So what does Gaudapada Acharya says? He says that when it comes to non-existent products, they can never be created out of delusion or by any other means because they are non-existent. That is what he is trying to convey in this mantra. Actually, the idea is very simple, but the slides are slightly longer. So, from an existent cause, a real product can be born or an unreal product can be born. Now, when we say God, now God is existent principle. He exists in the form of the world. And he also exists as Nirgunam Brahma. That means without the world. From existent Atma, real world cannot come. It has to be only an unreal world. Real world comes out, that is what the other Dvaitins are saying. What we are saying is Atma is aprameyam. It cannot be known by the sense organs. But still it is existent. See, rabbit's horn cannot be known by the sense organs. Sky flowers cannot be known by the sense organs. But there is a difference between Satya Atma, which is existent, and non-existence of sky flowers and so on. That is what is being explained in this Karika. Adrishyatva, we don't see anything originating from non-existence in the world. Shankaracharya says to the other opponent that, can you give me any example where you can see something coming out of non-existence? For example, he says, this rabbit song. He says that is non-existent, therefore it will not come. So from non-existence, world cannot come, which is the philosophy of other Vadas, which is primarily Nyaya and Vaiseshika. That is what is being refuted in this verse. Asat Karyavada, Asat Karanavada. Asat Karanavada means existent product can't come out of non-existent cause. Okay, so in simple terms, we must understand that the world comes out of existence, Turiya Atman. That is what is the central theme of this verse. Mayaya eva jayate natu tatvataha. Mayaya eva. See, anything which is caused by Maya, Maya means it is a magic show of Ishvara. So whatever Ishvara is producing as this world which we are experiencing for the uh, sake of jivas karma. That is why this waking world is being experienced by all of us. And how this world is coming out is explained by way of the Swapna Drishtanta. Swapna Drishtanta means dream example in the 29th verse. So in the previous 28th verse, what he says is, there is a category which is non-existent. This world does not come under the category of non-existence. Because it is seen, it is experienced. That's all. Now let's go to the 29th verse.
यथा स्वप्ने द्वयाभासं यथा स्वप्ने द्वयाभासं स्पन्दते मायया मनः स्पन्दते मायया मनः तथा जाग्रद्वयाभासं तथा जाग्रद्वयाभासं स्पन्दते मायया मनः स्पन्दते मायया मनः.
So in this 29th verse, dream is taken as the example. What happens in a dream? Dream is a vibration of the mind vibrates to create a dream world. And when the mind vibrates, is it a non-dual world or a dual world? It is Dvaitam only. So Shankaracharya says, Gaudapada says, the waking state is also exactly like that. Because of the vibrations in the total mind of Hiranyagarbha, which is the cause of this entire universe, the mind is projected, that Hiranyagarbha, the total mind principle, projects this waking world. Like we have in the dream, multiple objects, varieties are seen. Similarly, this world of waking, varieties are seen.
यथा
So that is the um, comparison which is being done. But the main thing we should understand is that the dream world is the waker's mind. The waker's world is Lord's mind. That is why we say that Lord is the Jagat Karanam. That Brahman is Jagat Karanam. That Turiyam is Jagat Karanam. The Turiyam has got a Maya Shakti which projects this waking world. Like the waker projects the dream world. For a waker, waking is not a dream. In waking, see, for a dreamer, the dream world is real. Only after waking up, the waker says the dream is unreal. Similarly, when the waker wakes up to Turiya, the Turiyam, can say that the waking is Mithya. Waking is like a dream. Jagrat is also unreal projection. Dream is also unreal projection. Both are unreal. Waker's projection is Swapna. Lord's projection is Jagrat. There is a school of thought called as Yogacharya, which says that Jagrat is also a mental projection. Shankaracharya refutes that. It is not the individual mind which projects this waking world. There is a Maya Shakti which belongs to the total mind, which we call it as Hiranyagarbha. We call Hiranyagarbha as a total mind. Then there are other schools of thought like Drishti Srishti Vada, Srishti Drishti Vada, uh, which I have spoken about in the past. Whenever I see the world, that is called as Drishti Srishti Vada. Then the world is Srishti Drishti Vada means whether I see or not, the world is real. That is, these are the two major schools of thought. Uh, in the second chapter of this Mandukya Upanishad, it clearly says that it is Maya which is the cause of the waking world. I've quoted some of the other mantras, 24th mantra and the Kathopanishad. Mantra says there is no difference. You see, Turiyam is the cause of this waking state, and waking state goes back into Turiyam. Therefore, there is no difference here, and anybody who sees a difference is Dvaitin. And Dvaitin means people who see differences will always be in samsara. There is a Maya Shakti. Again in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this Maya Shakti is described in the second chapter of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It is Maya Shakti appears as this entire Jagat. All the sense organs of all the beings is nothing but a power. Power of what? Power of one supreme being. That supreme being, we are calling it as Turiya. In Ishava, see, all these mantras are being quoted to say that world which is experienced is a projection of the Turiyam, and it is a projection of the Lord's mind. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanataha tatra ko mohaka shokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. Ishavasya Upanishad. When you have come to know Turiyam is the real substratum, where can there be a delusion in the world? That is what Lord Krishna wanted to teach in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. To He says, you are not born. You are this Turiya Atma to Arjuna. Najayate mriyate va kadachit. You are not born. Your body is born. That is Maya. Nothing else. This whole world is Maya. Battlefield is also Maya. That is how a seeker and a jnani understands this world. What about Ajnani? Suppose you don't come to Mandukya Upanishad and you don't come to Bhagavad Gita, don't study Atma Bodha, don't study Tattva Bodha. You will be like a normal person. What do you mean a normal person? A normal person will say that the world is very, very real. He will never even dream that the world can be unreal. So all these verses which are quoted here are basically to say that Maya causes this universe. And when we say neti neti, this is the neti neti mantra in Vedanta Upanishad 236. We are saying neti neti means this world is being negated, but not Brahman or Turiyam. The ultimate resort for all of us as a security is this Turiya Atma. That is what is said in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, 3rd chapter. There is a deity which is the, you see, all these powers, we call it Maya Shakti, but Maya Shakti is in the form of different small powers which we can see in the world. Like gravitational power, the sun rising and falling. This is all the different Shaktis of one major power which is called as Maya Shakti. Atma alone projects Swapna, Atma alone projects this Jagrat, Atma projects through the Veshti mind. Veshti mind means through the individual mind, a dream world is created. Through the Maya Shakti belonging to Ishvara, which Samashti mind creates this waking state. Therefore, in Mundaka Upanishad, it says that whatever you see, experience in this world is nothing but this Atma only. Brahmaiva Vedam Amritam Purasta Brahma Paschat Brahma Dakshinatas Chotarena. That means I see Turiya Atma in front of me, behind me, in top of me, on the right side, left side, everything is this Turiyam Brahman only. Which is the favorite mantra which is similar to this mantra in Bhagavad Gita? Brahmarpanam Brahma Harihi Brahmatno Brahmanahutam. Everything is Brahman. In a yajna, whatever instruments I'm using is all Brahman only. Ultimately, the deity is also Brahman. Karta is also Brahman. So that is the way our mindset has to change when we study Upanishads. If I don't know this, I am called Ajnani. I don't know means there is self-ignorance. In order to remove the ignorance about this self, which is the Turiyam self, I studied Upanishad and all the Karikas. Rope is wrongly understood as a secret. World is wrongly understood as real. Bhagavad Gita has another beautiful verse in the 2nd chapter. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyate munehe. For an ignorant person, Brahman is the world. For a wise person, world is Brahma. I told you about Brahmarpanam Brahmahari. It's the 4th chapter, 24th verse that is being quoted here in this slide. So, real Atma always exists independent of the world. Unreal snake, when it is understood as rope, that is the reality. Similarly, unreal world, when it is rightly understood as Turiyam Brahma, then you have a clear vision of the world. A layman suffers from a lot of problems because of delusion. For a jnani, he has seen the mind also as unreal. For a ajnani, mind is real. Therefore, ajnani will suffer. Okay, so this is how we have to understand Dvaitam. Dvaitam means subject object division, seer seen division, grasper grasped division, perceiver perceived division, knower known division. See, all this is possible only in the waking state. In the sleep state, there is no division. Subject object has become one. Seer seen has become one. So, manaha spandate is what Gaudapada wants to say in this verse. The same thing Shankaracharya says, it is Atma Spandate. Because Spandate means what? The mind is projecting. Atma is projecting or mind is projecting. It is the same. It is Dvaitam. Dvaitam is only a projection of Atma or the human mind. In case of dream, it is the mind. In the case of waking, it is the Lord. And the mind can project. Why can it project? Because it is subject to change. Atma projects this world as though. That is why we say it is a seeming creation. Atma projects a waking universe, but it is a seeming universe. Therefore, it is called as Mithya. Dream is also Mithya. Waking is also Mithya. And in Sushupti, what happens? I have self-ignorance. That self-ignorance is called as Maya Shakti. See, in the 6th verse of this Mandukya Upanishad, it says that Ishvara Antaryami or this Maya is the cause of waking and dream. What is this Maya? What is this Ishvara? It is a Shakti. It is basically it is ignorance born. It is ignorance, complete ignorance is this Maya Shakti. And that is why we say, you see, all these points regarding the world and how we try to understand this world through logic, you should try to see how Shankaracharya uses the Shruti statements and tries to bring in logic to prove it. Here, what is the logic being used? Because of rope ignorance, I project a snake. Because of Turiyam ignorance, I project the waking world. That is the logic of ignorance. See how ignorance can project. That means Maya has got two Shaktis, Avarna Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. Vikshepa Shakti is also from Maya. Avarna Shakti is also Maya. When we don't see the world, then this Turiya Atma is not called as Karanam. As long as we see the world, we say this Turiyam is Karanam. When the world is negated as Mithya, then Turiyam or Brahman is not a real cause. The causation is also unreal in Turiya. Therefore, we say Turiyam is Karya Karana Vilakshanam. This is a very, very subtle logic. I hope you can get it. Again, I will explain to you. What it means is, as long as we are in the waking state, trying to understand the waking world, we will say there is a Turiyam, there is consciousness, there is Atma, there is something which is called Maya Shakti. It is a Karana. That is the Karana, this is the Karya. Suppose I stand as Turiyam, my intellect is able to understand and it says, okay, let's drop this world. And then let me say, Aham Brahma Asmi. I am Brahman. When I say Aham Brahma Asmi, world is automatically dropped as Mithya. That is what Shankaracharya is trying to say here. Atma remains Advaitam in the past, in the present, and in the future. In the first stage, we say Atma is Karana, world is Karana. In the second stage, we say world is unreal Mithya. Real world can never be born from Atma because Atma is changeless, Vivarta Karana. So when we have negated the world as Mithya, then we go to the third stage and we say Atma can't project a real world. If it cannot project a real world, then it is never a real Karanam. Therefore, we say Atma is Karya Karana Vilakshana. These are the three stages of understanding world and Turiya. I hope you are getting this. This needs a little bit of thinking one by one. Step one, first we say there is Turiya Atma, that is Karana. Because I'm seeing the world, I'm taking the world as real. Then the next stage is, I say the world is like a dream only. Whatever I'm experiencing, it is just disappearing. Appears, disappears, appears, disappears. Waking state, yesterday comes, tomorrow comes again. I can't hold to yesterday, I can't hold to tomorrow, I can't hold to today. So therefore, it is Mithya, it is an appearance. If the entire life is Mithya, that means that original first statement, Atma is a Karanam, is not true because the world is not a real world. In the third stage, I say, therefore, Atma is Karya Karana Vilakshanam. This third stage, coming to third stage, is called as moksha. As long as I'm dealing with the world, the first stage and the second stage, it is still in the process of understanding. So, when I have known that the world is mithya, I don't have to run away from the world at all. Living in the world, I should be able to say, Aham Muktaha Asmi. Why? Because the world is seemingly there. That is what Shankaracharya brings out here as how we can claim ourselves to be Mukta Purusha. I am always free from the world is possible only in one condition. What is that condition? World is Mithya. If world is Mithya, then who am I? I am Satyam. See, the Satyam and Mithya final discussions are very, very subtle. Your intellect has to pick up this thread of all the logic which we have discussed to come to the ultimate conclusion of Vedanta. Aham Satyam Jagan Mithya. Very beautifully, Shankaracharya summarizes in this 29th verse, which we have seen. Next week, not next week, the next session, we will start from the 30th verse, 2964 slides. Next session. Next week is 3rd of August. I'm traveling tomorrow, and therefore, next Sunday, there won't be a class. So 3rd August, it's confirmed there is no class. 10th August, I may have a class, but you have to wait for my WhatsApp message. If you get a WhatsApp message, there is a class today on the 10th of August, please come. If you don't get the message, means there is no class on the 10th, then our class will start on the 17th August. Okay? Then next session, we'll take up this 30th Karika. We have 48 Karikas, 18, 19 Karikas are still pending, which we will see in the following weeks. Okay, with this, I close today's session on Mandukya. Oh, Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachade Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We will see what is there in the chat box. There are no questions as such. In case you have any questions, you're free to raise your hand and you can ask your question. Yeah, Vijaya, can you go ahead?
Jai Shri Krishna. Hari Om Shekhar-di.
Yeah,
very, very difficult set of verses today. Not easily graspable with single reading, but excellently done. I have many questions though, but for today only one question. If I have to put in a quote of Apurva Pakshi, and I will ask you that there is the dichotomy when we say Brahman to be Vivarta Karanam versus Brahman to be Karya Karana Vilakshanam. See, when we say Vivarta Karanam, we still say that he is a cause, but he is a changeless cause.
correct.
Whereas when we say Karya Karana Vilakshanam, we are saying he is not the cause at all. The reason is he is only an apparent cause, like in the sense when the sunlight falls on the prism and then it creates the rainbow or a color.
Yeah.
The product called a rainbow or color is actually not a direct, the sunlight is not a direct cause. It's only a seemingly a cause. Right? So that is what is, so his presence, like it's like a summer when it comes or spring when it comes. Because of the sunlight, there are shoots in the Prakriti. So sunlight is just a facilitator, rather we can say probably his presence is just a witness, is drashta. And that is the reason why the Prakriti blooms. So I have this question as to when we are trying to call him as Vaivarta or when we call him as the Karya Karana Vilakshana, it seems to be having some kind of a dichotomy there. I just needed that. And then thereby we are actually dropping the significance of when we say Maya is replaced by Atman in your slide 2958, we are discounting the Maya completely, which is one of the Shakti too, where when the Jagat is negated, wherein we are completely discounting the Chidabhasa aspect, wherein That's what is lending its borrowed sentiency to the mind. And mind is that Maya which creates that rainbow effect in us, where we see the plurality or multiplicity in the world. So this is where I kind of have some explanation from you required, Shekharji.
Yeah, okay. You see, in between, I had presented the three stages. The three stages in our understanding. The first stage is that there is a Karana. That is all how we start our journey. Right at this point, because there is a lot of hidden knowledge in all the three stages. What you are asking is stage 2 and stage 3. The first stage is there is a Karanam. Because I am seeing the world. All of us, we start like that only. We say, I am experiencing the world. So for this world, there has to be a cause. First stage is very clear. Nobody will doubt it. When I see a small pot, I know there is a cause for the pot. There is a maker, which is an intelligent cause. So we say Brahman or Turiyam is the cause of this world. First stage over. Second stage, we try to understand the nature of this cause. Because we have to fit the Shruti Vakyams. Through Shruti only I have to understand the final third stage. What is the second stage? The second stage is that as long as I'm seeing the world, I'm saying Karma. But in my experience, in my sleep state, when I don't experience the world, what is the status of the world? And what is my status? Status of the world is it has gone into unmanifest condition. What is my status? My status is the world is not there. When the world is not there, that means what? The Karanatvam status which I have given to this Brahman, that is negated. When the world is not manifest. The second stage is a very important step to understand the third stage. So in the sleep state, the world is unmanifest condition. When the world is not experienced, at that time, the Karanatvam status of the Turiyam or Brahman is dropped. And then what do we say? We come to the third stage where Turiya Atma is described as Karya Karana Vilakshana, as the absolute state. The second stage is also a relative stage because again the world will come for my experience. So the first stage is waking state or dream state when we see a world. Second stage is when we have negated the world in the sleep stage, which is that ignorance Maya state. When I have dropped the Maya power is gone. When the world is gone, Maya power is gone. But I exist. That I which exists as as the cause before in the first stage, this second stage, what happens? That Karanam status is dropped. Therefore, what happens? I go to the third stage and then I say, Sabash, whatever the Shruti says is correct. In the ultimate analysis, the Turiyam Brahma, which is existing even when the world is manifest, which is existing even when the world is an unmanifest condition, that Turiyam Brahma, I give it a new name and I say it is Karya Karana Vilakshana.
Yes.
This is possible only when you have negated the world by neti, by you can use any number of statements to negate the world. In your intellect, what happens? You say there is no world. World is gone into unmanifest condition. The world will again come back into manifest. Whenever the world comes back into manifest condition, I will start again with the notion that Turiyam is the Karana. But when I have become a jnani, I have understood Turiyam clearly. For him, even if he is there in the waking state, he will say the world is Mithya. For him, the world is tuchya. It is Mithya. It is just it is exactly like a dream. He doesn't give any importance to the waking state, exactly like he doesn't give any importance to the dream state. That is the sign of a jnani. Therefore, jnani is all the descriptions of jnani, now you can understand. Very easy. For him, the world is mithya. Therefore, he is free. Therefore, he is mukta purushaha. He is ever free. He has claimed his nature to be Atma, Turiya Atman. Turiya Atma is not free just because I have studied Upanishad. Turiya Atma is ever free. Only thing is he has learned to look at the world. The vision of the world has changed for him. The vision which was before of an Ajnani, now he has a Jnani vision. Therefore, this Turiya Atma as Karya Karana Vilakshana is the ultimate, it is the last stage for a seeker. Once you have understood the Turiyam as Karana Karana Vilakshanam, then you are a Jnani. That means you have understood Vedanta completely without a single doubt. That is what Acharya wants us to understand through this 27th verse, 28th verse. He wants us to say that the world must be a karyam to start with. It is a product.
Yeah.
And for a karyam, there has to be a karana.
Yes.
There has to be a cause. See, first we start with the theory that the world is a product, like a ring, bangle, chain. World is also like that. It's a product. Now, for a product to exist, there has to be a cause. Now, that cause has to be an existent cause. It cannot be a non-existent cause, which is what we saw in today's two verses. 3 verses which we did, 27 and 28. We did this 27, 20, 29. 3 verses we completed today. The main thing, the main central teaching you should pick up from there is that the world must be understood as Mithya. It's an experience available for experience, but it is not factually existent. That is about the world. What about me? What about I? I am not this body. Body will go away, no problem. It has, I don't know what happened to the body, how it was born, all that I didn't know. Through some Lord's grace, I came into this world. I got this knowledge now. I am the body, but I am the ever existent Turiya Atman.
Wow.
I dropped the identification of the body only. That is what Jnani ultimately does. And Jnani ultimately says, my experiences are there. I wake up tomorrow morning, I have my experiences of my day, I cook food, I eat food, I go to office, go shopping, that is there. Only thing which I ask at the back of my mind is, okay, all this is there, but is it a real existing thing always? No. Or is it like the dream which I saw yesterday that, I went shopping and then I did. Whatever you dreamt similarly is with open eyes you're dreaming. That's all. So, Vijay, have you understood the difference between Vilakshanam and Karanam?
Yes, very, very well. So I think what I conclude here from my understanding is stage 1 is where I am expressing the Brahman to be the Vivarta Karanam. Then stage 2 where I am completely taking this process of neti and
Yes.
kind of giving a status of Mithya to the Maya, the
Yeah.
Jagat. Thereby,
Correct.
I'm coming to a conclusion in the stage 3 where I'm saying the Brahman actually establishing the Advaitam for the Brahman and then saying that he is Karya Karana Vilakshana and he alone
Exactly.
exists. Like
Now you got it.
exactly 5 and 9 verses of
Correct.
Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
appreciate. Thank you very,
See,
very
the
much.
ultimate, this type of analysis is a very, very subtle analysis which is being done in Mandukya Upanishad. Nowhere else you will find this type of depth of analysis,
Absolutely.
especially of Karya Lakshanam and Vivarta Karanam. The analysis which Shankaracharya does in these verses in the third chapter is completely unique. And the beauty is, unless you understand these verses, you cannot understand moksha.
Yeah.
Moksha, you will be very clear when your intellect is able to go through these verses of reasoning. And then you will say, yes, what the Shruti is talking about, neti. And then there is an Turiya Atma. Neti is with reference to the world, but you cannot negate the Atma, which is the substratum, which is the Karya. At the second stage, you are still saying neti means you're talking about the world only. Whenever
Correct.
you're talking about neti with reference to the world, you have to use Atma as the substratum.
Yes. Yeah, that's a reference point. Yes. Yes.
Yes, as a substratum only you can say neti. Rope snake can be dropped only because of rope. World can be dropped only because of Atma.
That's a Brahman. Yeah.
After dropping the world, then you come to the third stage and then re-examine your position about Atma.
Yes.
And that is where you get your moksha. The last step is extremely difficult. Very few seekers will go to the last stage of this Karya Karana Vilakshana. It's a very technical topic, but if you go through these reasonings, you will be able to pick up this the depth of this teaching. Good, thank you, Vijay.
It actually resonates with the 269 verse of Bhagavad Gita, a status of a yogi. That which is night to all, a yogi is awake, and that
That's
which is
correct.
all
Which I
beings
had
are awake,
quoted
the
this
yogi
time.
is.
In today's talk,
Yeah,
I had quoted that.
good.
Yes.
Yeah. So very well
Yeah.
related to that.
See,
Thank you very, very much. Yeah.
yeah. For a jnani, the waking state is like night.
Yeah.
Why is it like night? Because he doesn't attach too much importance to the world.
Yeah.
What about the night stage? At the night stage, when he's sleeping, he knows that he is not sleeping, but he is awake to his real nature, which is Turiya Atman. So for a jnani, night is like day, and day is like night.
Yes.
Good comparison. Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Shekharji.
Anybody else has a question? These are very, very deep analysis. Continue listening, even if you are not there. If some of you may not have attended the first two chapters, don't worry. Keep listening. You will get to know. You just have to start swimming. You see, some people ask me, should I wait till the first chapter again you begin? No, I will say just start swimming. Jump in the water. Keep on trying. And slowly you will get your anchor. You will start understanding everything then. Nobody says that I will wait for the first talk on Tattva. Oh, jump in, don't worry. Jump in and you will get all the knowledge. So this knowledge of Turiya Atma is the central teaching of all the Upanishads. Okay, any other questions? Any other comments on today's talk? If there are no questions, I will stop here. And then, so next week there is no class. 3rd of August, there's no class. 10th of August, you just wait for my message, WhatsApp message, and then you will see if I'm there, I will take it. Otherwise, 7th August, definitely there will be this will continue on 17th. But we may be able to continue on the 10th of August. Thank you. Namaste.
Hari Om, Sekharji. Yeah.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary.
Thank you. Thank you.